Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to another turkey pattern test here on a miserably hot day. It's only 10 a.m. and it's already saying 93 degrees out here and there is no breeze, so it is not very pleasant. But hey, we're still out here testing for you guys. And I've got one that I don't really know what to expect out of today as far as setup goes. It could be pretty decent, it could be pretty terrible at the same time. I really don't know. But as for what we're testing today, I brought out some more of the Remington Premier TSS. These are a 410 3-inch 1100 feet per second 13/16 ounce of number 9s, and I do have the chronograph, so we will be able to see if we're seeing that 1100 feet per second or not. And for the setup we're going to be using, I've got once again the Mossberg 500 410 turkey out. It's been a little bit since we've seen this gun on the channel, but I decided to throw in this choke. This is a Winchester 391 constriction full choke. It is just a full choke, but that 391 constriction has shown us some really surprising results so far with these turkey loads. And as far as the Remington shells go, they have been kind of middle of the pack. They haven't been very amazing. They haven't been very terrible either. It seems like a shell that will do the job if that's what you had available, but there are definitely better options out there. So anyway, I've got the turkey target set up over here at 40 yards. I do have the chronograph, like I said earlier, so the shot will be across there so we can see our speed. So let's go get set up over here at the target. We'll take the shot, we'll take a look at our chronograph numbers, and then we'll look and see how they did. So let's go over here and shoot them and see if they like this 391 full choke. Alright, so that shell gave us 1101 feet per second across the chronograph. The box called for 1100, so we're right exactly on the mark where they called for. So that's definitely a good thing to see, but how did it do down there on the target? I don't know yet. So let's go down there and mark our hits and see how it performed. Okay, so now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and this is the results we got. He is still a dead turkey. We do have 2 in the brain and 1 in the spine right there. So he is dead, however, as you can see, it's not really looking all that amazing, to be perfectly honest with you here. Now, our main core, if you can even call it a core, I do believe is a touch left over here, which is surprising because that gun usually hits right where I want it to. But either way, you can clearly see here, there's some big voids in here, and we have flyers way off to both edges of the paper, and all the way down in our bottom corner down here, and all the way up in the top corner up there too. So definitely not something that I would call a very ideal pattern. It would still kill the turkey, but that is not a pattern that I'm looking for right there. So it would seem that these do not like that full choke or that little bit more open constriction like that. I don't know, these Remingtons just seem to be kind of lower mid-pack as for performance of the shells go. The Brownings, I would say, are definitely a better shell. In my opinion, the Federal TSS loads are worse than this, but I don't know. What do y'all think about it? Is that a pattern that you would use? I know as for me, that's definitely not really what I'm looking for, and we have seen better results out of other shells that are priced the same or cheaper in the case of like the herder shells. So definitely not very ideal so far, I wouldn't say. Okay, and this is the wad we got out of that shell. It peeled open pretty good, clearly a lot more on one end than the other. But once again, this is the second or third time we've seen this out of these Remington shells. We have pellets and buffer material crammed down in the bottom here. Now I know this should not be happening with a full choke like that. I mean, as you can clearly see, there's barely any dimples from this squeezing through the choke at all. So why are we seeing these down here in the bottom? Something clearly needs to be done over there at Remington to figure out why we're losing payload in our wad here, because that's not at all what I want to see. Even though it is only like 10 pellets or so, those 10 pellets really do count in a 410 load. But as for the rest of the wad here, not really anything too special to see. Peeled open a little bit unevenly, but nothing too out of the ordinary, I wouldn't say. But definitely not ideal, I wouldn't say, with all those pellets jammed down in there. Well, you guys, what did you think about that? Is that about what you expected, or were you thinking that it might perform a little bit better than that? I don't really know. It honestly kind of doesn't really surprise me being these Remington shells, but on the other hand, I know that we've seen some better and improving results out of some shells when we do run them through that 391 full choke. So I was hoping for a little bit better than that, but I'm ultimately not really super surprised, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, that would have still been a dead turkey. So is that the kind of pattern that you're looking for? Or are you like me in the fact that you like to see a little bit better pattern, maybe a little more consistent or a little bit tighter? Either way, I'm just looking for a better pattern than that. It's as simple as that, really. But let me know what you think about it. Is that something you would use or not? And I've got a bunch more tests coming, so stay tuned. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one.